Hello and welcome to Explorers of Elsewhere's Meet the Crew series. I am DM Dan, and I'm joined today with the beautiful Nate. Hi, Nate. How you doing?
Hi, I'm very good. How are you?
I am pretty good. I'm extremely excited to hear more about this character of yours, this dragon scent slide. So same as for everyone else. Please give us a quick introduction to Khavren.
Yeah, so much like I'm pretty sure how you do all your character creations with people who join the podcast or join the channel,
Yeah.
you have this conversation over cocktails in Edinburgh, obviously. um, but yeah,
Naturally.
so more about Kavrin. So Kavrin, obviously, as you say, is a dragon scent.
Yeah.
Um, from what I believe about the lineage, they are very rare, sort of relatively. Like it's how you described it to me is that people know of dragon sense, like how people know about anyone with albinism or something like that, but very rarely someone will actually know them personally. Dragon scents are the reason why they are called dragon scent is because they are believed they are brought by the gods. So they
Auspicious
are brought
births.
from. Um, and so Kavren wasn't actually born in Elysia. He was born in a small town outside of Elysia called Paravilia.
Sure.
He was born into a large Luravar family, who never made him feel other, never made him feel like an outsider. They gave him about as much love, and felt him as much of a blessing to the rest of his siblings. But one of the things that is very much mostly within Elysia, but also within other big cities as well in the world of Elsewhere, is that dragon scent children are usually sought after to join the churches, to be sort of groomed in a way to become paladins or clerics within the churches of the dragons.
Yeah.
And they will promise the families that they're born into sort of blessings of knowledge, power, blessings, blessings on their crops or their families or so whatever. So, but the dragon scent are usually quite young when they're brought in, but Kavren wasn't. Kavren was relatively much older. He was probably in his mid-teens, sort of as a human age, sort of 14, 15, when he was brought into the church. Most likely not the Church of Aya, probably one of the smaller churches within the divine sort of area.
Yep.
And he moved to the city of Elysia to sort of seek his knowledge, basically to be taken into a private education, all paid for by the church as long as he devoted himself to the church. It's not unknown for sort of young people within the area, so very much like how in the real world young people will go to university in big cities to sort of kind of find their own identities in their lives. It's not unknown for younger people within sort of smaller towns to go to Elysia, and this is obviously pre-bubble, to sort of find their fame and fortune. And so he wasn't the only one who went along. He also had two siblings who went along with him to sort of keep him company, and them not being dragon sense, they were Luravar lineage. As we mentioned in the character creation, his rival Dorothea was actually his mentor in learning about the divine dragons, who found him quite frustrating, because he wasn't interested in learning about divine dragons, about the church. He wanted to know about this new city that he had come to be a part of. He wanted to know about everything about it. He wanted to know about the people that lived there. He wanted to know about, different lineages. He wanted to know about different, classes of people. He wanted to know about the arcane magic that was possibly there as well. And he wanted to find out how he can get his dirty little mitts into everything to get the sort of things that he wanted. And his siblings, who were also there with him, very much enjoyed this as well, but they they tried to push him. They were saying like, look, this is bringing good blessings to our family. Please take this seriously. But he just wasn't. By the time the Great War started happening, he started noticing the fact that the more arcane gods, their shrines, their temples, they were actually getting, looted, burnt down.
Yeah.
Until the point where he actually found out that his siblings were a part of this, that they'd been brainwashed by the Divine Church and by Dorothea as well to sort of do this.
Yeah.
He tried to plea to say, can you not do this? My family are not violent. My family don't do this. To Dorothea not paying attention, saying, no, this is the divine cause. And she was one of the ones who was forcing him to go into the Great War, to enroll, to fight. But by the time he was actually meant to leave Elysia, he thought about it. It was against him. He didn't want to leave the city that he loved. He didn't want to leave the city that he'd become very much a part of. But by the time he did decide to leave, and it was not actually to leave to join the war, but it was to leave to actually go and join his family again to ask for their advice, that's when the bubble happened. And much like his rival, his mentor, who 100% believes that the bubble happened because of Aya, and Aya has saved the city. Khavren 100% believes that is not the case, because if it was, why wasn't his family saved? Why wasn't his siblings saved? And so he, in his every might, wants to go against the church, but also have fun at the same time with it.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, just like I guess almost like a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing when the eschaton happened and elsewhere got ripped away. Very interesting. Yeah, so it'd be good to see. Well, I guess he's had 2 years to explore the city and the people, but perhaps not in a manner he expected to. So in terms of like Khavren as a character, was there anything that you drew on for inspiration, or were there any kind of particular design choices that you like absolutely knew had to go through? Like, where did the idea of Khavren come from?
I think it was mostly due to the fact that so kind of in personal world life, like characters that I've played in RPGs have been more sort of caring, more sort of wise characters. I've never played anyone who's been more charismatic and has basically wanted to be like a bit of a charlatan, who was a little bit of a wrong'un, but in just a scallywag sort of way.
Sure.
I did also want to play someone who was a little bit of a sugar baby, where he can be. No matter the gender, it's all good with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was mostly wanting to play sort of like the slide characteristics I've never played before as in a character, and I thought this would be a nice challenge to play something new like that. So no real sort of inspirations that I've really pulled from. I'm pretty sure there's lots of different characters who sort of use, their body and their charm to sort of get the things that they want. But I think it just makes it extra interesting, the fact that he is a dragon scent.
Yeah.
And there are going to people who don't like dragon scents, but also see dragon scents as like this religious blessing that he can fully take advantage of.
Amazing. Okay, so what has Khavren's biggest brag been since the eschaton, since the bubbling?
Since the bubbling, I like to think that his biggest brag is the fact that he was on a heist.
Mm-hmm.
There were two other groups that were on this heist as well, who wanted this particular item, and he got them fighting because he'd probably slept with both of their leaders. And he got them fighting because of that, and because they were too busy fighting about that, probably just who was the better at it or who deserved it more, that he was able to get away with the item that they were fighting for.
Amazing. Okay, yeah, that sounds like if that's Khavren's sort of like core central, then yeah, I suspect there's going to be a lot of hijinks going forward. Amazing. Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Khavren in action. And if you like what you said, like what you heard, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below on your opinions on Khavren and what sort of things you think he's going to get up to. And to see him dirtying the streets of Elysia, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications of when we release new content. Campaign 2 is due to start very soon, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you
for running through Khavren. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.